well as the interesting food, random, is it random? Yeah. The processing of random, and I want to save people's life. I want to protect people around me. There are a lot of and limit our imagination and discovery of the topic. Most easy. So it was the crisis management for tourism. That's definitely.
Today, we have the pleasure of introducing Associate Professor Jie Wang, a distinguished scholar in crisis management from the University of Quensland. Dr. Wang's research delves into risk, crisis, and disaster management in tourism and hospitality, focusing on human behavior and resilience. Her outstanding contributions have earned her the Emerald Outstanding Doctoral Research Award and the UQ Business School's Early Career Researcher Excellence Award. Collaborating internationally and crossing disciplinary boundaries, she holds the role of being the director in the Australia Indonesian Business Resilience Hub that aims to help SMEs in responding to crisis. Join us as we explore her remarkable work and insights on enhancing crisis preparedness and resilience in tourism. So, Dr. Chingada, how are you doing?
Very good. And thank you very much for this opportunity for me to talk to your team and share my experience to the broad audience. And I appreciate that.
Yeah, we appreciate having you too because not so often we can have like such an distinguished speaker, especially for brought coming to the studio. So also really appreciate our time. So maybe first of all, I'm curious to know what were your first impressions of Andalas University?
Thank you for the question. This is my first time to visit Padang, first time to visit Malaysia, and definitely first time to visit Andalas. I think this place is a very welcoming environment. In the last couple of days, have already met with a lot of very keen to learn things, the students, undergraduates, master students, PhD, staff member, as well as many other even academic and administrative staff. So it's very welcoming, and I feel they are very friendly. So I'm very happy to be here.
Okay, so how about our West market? Have you get the chance to kind of explore outside of University of Quensland?
I have a very small opportunity to visit a little museum because the schedule was very tight. During my visit, I'm very impressed by the local culture as well as the religions. I've had a chance to look at the traditional house as well as different tribes in the region representing different belief, value, as well as especially the historical religion. So I'm very pleased to have a chance to see different ethnics, as well as the interesting food, random, is it random? Yeah. The processing of random, and the museum put the map, a global map, the world map, showing there are a lot of cities all over the world selling the food random, which showing sometimes the dream or mission that Padang is ready to show their culture, the food and drinks, as well as the important local value to protect people, which is also related to the resilience concept I would have.
Hey, so yeah, hopefully you gain a lot of insights from your experiences. And I know you have a tight schedule, but hopefully you can explore more in with our wonderful city once we let you do have the opportunity. So yeah. Okay, so talking about crisis and disasters, it's a very specific topic, I would say. So I'm kind of curious, like, what drew you to specialize in crisis and disasters in the first place within the tourism industry?
It has a long story, but keep the story short. When I was very little, childhood, my dream is to become a medical doctor because my family has a lot of doctors and nurses. So when I was very little in primary school, I said I want to save people's lives. I want to protect people around me. There are a lot of the changes in your study academic life. So sometimes it's out of my control. I had a chance to study journalism and communication during my bachelor degree. And during that time, I said, I want to be a journalist. And at the same time, I'm probably not a medical doctor to save people's life. However, I can spread the good idea, the news about the reality of the world, and share the truth. So saving life is not only relating to a medical doctor's job, but can also reflect on our other occupations such as a journalist, teacher, or entrepreneur said doing something else. So during that time, I studied a double degree both in tourism as well as in journalism and communication. And I find the tourism is also very interesting. It creates idea for people to showcase the beauty of the nature as well as the local culture and history. So during that time, I want to become a producer of tourism channels. So during my bachelor degree, I made a tourism newspaper, combine both my skills and the knowledge in tourism and communication. And it was my first practice to do mass media. Then later on, when I decided to go for a master's degree or even PhD degree, I consider what is my next chapter, what is my dream. And I feel tourism is very diverse context. It involves travel-related businesses, accommodation, global hotels, Airbnb, all sorts of accommodation, but also airline, cruise ship, clubs, and so on. So I found this is a fascinating sector, and I want to learn more. During that time, I had a chance to receive a scholarship from Australian government, led me to continue my master's degree. So I grabbed it, and I continue my master's by research in Canberra. And during that time, I found out study tourism is quite fun, and it was you connect to people. So I continued. Whether or not why I choose crisis and disaster, it happened in 2008. So that's the time I graduated from my master's degree and decided to go for PhD. In 2008, there was an earthquake happened in Sichuan province in China. This is not my hometown, however. The whole country tried to help the province because a lot of the schools, a lot of school kids, a lot of schools, the building crashed and that caused the death of many school kids. I want to help, but I was in Australia at the moment. And I said, instead to be a volunteer to save people from the earthquake, how about I study this topic in the tourism context? Because Sichuan is famous for panda, it is a very famous tourism destination as well. Therefore, I continued my study with my supervisor, who was my master degree supervisor, and he moved to Queensland. His topic area is in risk and crisis management. That's just everything come together. So I decided to do my PhD in crisis and disaster management, and one of the best one of the best researcher in the world, who is Professor Brent Ritchie, was my supervisor, and I continued my journey academic to crisis and disaster related topic. After 2008, we can see a lot of disasters happen, not only natural disasters such as the tsunami in Japan and earthquake, but more so, there are many other health-related disasters such as COVID. SARS is in 2008 as well. There in 2018, 2020 is COVID. And nowadays, you can also see a lot of political conflicts happened that will affect people's life, as well as economic development, for tourism destination, and so on. So I'm sure there are a lot of things I can do going beyond medical doctor. So I'm a doctor in philosophy, in tourism, crisis management. That's another way I can say my dream will come true, and I'll continue my academic journey to help people, let people survive, protect people from nasty disease related to travel, and also try to help businesses to be more resilient, and ultimately will help the destination to find the best way to develop their tourism, to showcase the beauty of nature, as well as communicate culture, diversity, and I think that's good for everyone as well.
All right. So, okay, that's really interesting because we haven't really, although we have met previously, but I haven't really get to know you first. So listening to your background from medicine and then going to journalism and everything, I think it does it give you as a academician, it kind of gives you a broader perspective. I think in a lot of other different disciplinaries. So does that help you out in terms of how you approach your academic endeavor?
Exactly. I think this is a very good question. So when we study in a university, let's say, we choose our discipline, choose an area, subject area. So when university students graduate, they will receive a paper certificate saying you are, let's say, a bachelor degree in business, or you have a master degree in management, you have a doctorate degree in philosophy, or sometimes in a very specific area. But in the last 20 years, when I talk to my supervisors, my English partners, and also the people around us, the students, I figure out discipline sometimes creates the limitation for us and limit our imagination and discovery of the topic. Most important thing for us to identify is the problem. Problem doesn't have a discipline. Same as my industry partner, who is a travel doctor. When we study the travel-related disease and how to minimize the tourism risk, she always say, disease won't have vacation. So people can have vacation or holiday. Disease won't. Say, problems don't have discipline. If we always study a problem with the discipline boundary, it will limit ourselves to find a good solution. Therefore, when I reflect my background from studying tourism, journalism, communication, and later on also study education. When I do my PhD, I study a lot of things related to social psychology, organizational behavior, and even broadly nowadays more and more related to risk and disaster management. All these, the aim is to solve the problem rather than say I'm an expert to the discipline. So discipline shouldn't limit our exploration of the issue. That it can create some channel for us to learn the knowledge and develop our skills. However, when we strive to solve problem, we need to study broadly, have a multidisciplinary mindset to combine both science and social science, arts together with science, and those kind of things. So I don't think it's necessary to limit ourselves. Therefore, I'm keen to share my students multidisciplinary training and mindset is crucial for us to solve problem.
Problems don't have disciplines. I think I will keep that in mind. Like especially for I would say still early on in my studies. So I think that's also important. Not to limit myself to learn. I think for most of our audience to understand that do not limit your exploration and continuously get to know everything around your surroundings in order to gain like much broader perspective of things. So okay, that's a really good insight. I would keep that in mind. So okay, talking more deeper in the crisis and disasters realm. What are the most common types of crisis and disasters that usually affect its own industry?
This is a very broad question. Really, it depends on where is the destination. For example, in Australia, we have a lot of natural disasters happened. Mostly is the bushfires, cyclone, floods, not necessarily earthquake. However, in Indonesia, we may have earthquake, tsunami, and floods, landsliding. In some other country, maybe related to sometimes not say go beyond the natural disaster can be some crisis happen in economic, like financial crisis, and now we are very familiar with the health risk. So the disease that can be spread is also a very has also very negative impact on people who travel. And travelers, sometimes they are the victim of the natural disaster. And sometimes they can carry disease and spread disease. So it's hard to say what type of disasters are common for tourism, because tourism is a very fragmented sector. It doesn't say there is one company or organization can own the whole travel journey. If a tourist plan their itinerary, there are multiple sectors to be involved, starting from travel agency. Then you need to find the airline to go to a place or train or cruise ship or self-driving vehicles. Not the vehicle self-driving, I mean you drive vehicle by yourself. Once you arrive at destination, you have to have a place to sleep. Therefore, accommodation sector is important. Then that could be a 5-star hotel to a resort to a 3-star motel. Could be no staff, just accommodation provided for you by the private sector like Airbnb and so on. Then you need to eat. So food and drinks sector become one element in your itinerary. So it could be the fine dining restaurants, can be street food, can also be delivered by different company, fast food, slow food, and so on. So there are lots of sectors related to this, and who deliver the food, who produce the food, who serve you. You can see all kinds of organizations have been involved. So after you travel to the place, have a room to sleep, and for your stomach with nice drinks and food, then you will consider what I want to see. You go to theme parks or you go to some destination, try to watch the waterfall, or you enjoy yourself with the beach environment. So you can see that's the destination level. And there are many other entertainment elements can be involved. Let's say music festival, sports event, mega event like Olympic Games, all these kind of event-related sector. Also, the part of the tourism. So as you can see, because so many different sectors has been involved in tourism, and there are thousands of different organizations, no matter it's big size or small size or micro size, have been incorporated in the process of our service production and the services itself as well. You can see it's very, very fragmented. It's very dynamic. That caused the problem for us to do a crisis and disaster management, because you actually facing thousands of organizations related to a travel journey, and it's not easy. When we plan and prepare for disaster or crisis for these organizations or destination, that involve collaboration. A lot of time it's not easy. So it was the crisis management for tourism. That's definitely a hot topic. And it's a very sometimes a challenging journey for everyone involved in the process.